So this is one of my favorite cult terms, and it is called the deification of idiosyncrasy, which is our human desire to make excuses for the non-excusable behavior of our cult leaders. The comment here says, can you talk about identity fusion and how followers will rationalize anything the leader does? And that is what we see in cults. And by the way, this is my third rule of cults. My first rule of cults, as I tell you in Uncultured, is the first rule of cults is you're never in a cult. Second rule of cults I learned from watching the Harry Meghan saga, or I put into words. The second rule of cults is the cult will forgive any sin except the sin of leaving. And then the third rule of cults I put into words with Donald Trump, even if he did it, doesn't mean he's guilty, and he'll never have to pay. This is going to be from Cult Baby the Musical, veterans included. And at the end of this little cell block tango parody song I'm going to give you in music, it's the deification of idiosyncrasy, and you'll never have to pay, just because I really need to make that a household term. And so we have seen deification of idiosyncrasy play out with Donald Trump since the day he became a candidate for political office. And things that he says, such as, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they would still vote for me. That is part of him deifying himself. And that is part of the deification of idiosyncrasy, right? Even if I did this horrible thing, y'all wouldn't turn from me. Because our ability to rationalize anything as humans is very, very impressive. However, this is why the Epstein List, being the crack and the brainwashing, is so, so very important, right? Because the mission, the transcendent mission, save the children, that's what kept them going. That's what got them to push past everything. That's what let them make him their leader and then attempt to rationalize his irrational behavior. It was all because of this mission that they were supposedly following, supposedly trying to achieve. So I expect to see a lot of the deification blinders coming off now. And by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, deification means becoming godlike. And there is a chapter in Uncultured, well, part of chapter 2, not in Uncultured, in Culting of America, my second baby, due date January 20th. There is a part of chapter 1, about the charismatic leader, about the road to deification, the things that a leader does when he goes from just charismatic leader to cult leader, and how he turns himself godlike to the followers. Super, super, super crucial to understand. Hopefully, we start seeing a lot of cracks in that deification, because of course, it's always a lie. He's not actually a god. I'm Daniella, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. You can read my first book, Uncultured, about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and going into the cult of the U.S. Army. Signed copies attached here. You can also listen to me read it to you on Spotify Premium or anywhere else you get your audiobooks.